The following program is rated S for satire. We are not professionals, nor are we clinically depressed. We do, however, suffer from long bouts of indecision and stagnation. Viewer discretion is advised.
Welcome back to this week's episode of the Take That Depression, the Project CC Arc podcast. I'm Kyler. That's Spencer.
Hey there.
Spencer, how was your weeks this week?
My week has been very good. I'm on vacation, a 12-day vacation, and I've been enjoying every second of it.
Nice. Gotta love that.
What about you?
That's definitely the perk of our job, is taking just 1 week off instead of it's the 1 week, it's 12 days. Gotta love it. Great. I'm coming off of a 3-week vacation, going back in a couple of days back to work. So I was loving every second of that, loving last seconds of this, but we get to record tonight, so I got very stoked about that.
It's been very lonely without you, but you'll be happy to know I haven't gotten fired because of my anger.
Not yet. There's still time.
There's still time.
Yeah, the boy had his birthday, so we did some stuff for that. That was a lot of fun. And we went to see my in-laws. That was a lot of fun. But yeah, all in all, a pretty good couple weeks. And excited to get back to it. There's been a lot of like this kind of rolling around in my noggin, a bunch of like ideas and stuff for this going on. So I'm excited to jump back in and get her done.
I'm excited. I'm excited to have you here.
So as everybody knows, welcome back. But we're doing the snowflake method. We're right now going through all of our main characters and writing about a paragraph on who they are. And then we'll come back and expand upon that a little bit more. We did our main character, Maxis, last week. We're coming back in and we're going to do our 2 supporting characters in kind of a bulk recording session like we did last week. Because Spencer, of course, is on vacation and he's going to go do some fun things and will not be available to record. But we have our female or female presenting supporting character, Fenwyn, and we have our male or male presenting supporting character. I don't know if we said it, but we flippy-flopped on the name. We're going Jackson instead of Arctic. We both like that one just a skosh better. It was kind of just a flip of a coin before, but we're doing the dang thing now. And this week, I think we're going to cover Fenwyn, if that's good with you, Spencer.
Yeah.
Awesome. Again, we're just going to write a little paragraph about her. You guys are going to come along for the ride. We're going to write it up as we're talking about it, and that's going to be the episode. We're going to get you out of here. On with your day. First and foremost, I think when we talked about Fenwyn, is that we're going to talk a bit about physical characteristics, species. She's going to be an elf, I think. Do we want to go full elf or half elf?
I don't know. I kind of don't mind half elf. I feel like maybe the elving race is kind of a rare thing.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it's kind of like I almost said breed, almost a culture of the past.
Yeah. Kind of, this is not at all the case, but I feel like there are so many people in our world that are like 1/32 whatever and 1/8 blah 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 of just like we're getting to be just like a pretty big melting pot of stuff. So like you said, a thing of the past kind of. I'm sure there will be in the world those sections that are like very hard. If you're an elf, you must mate with an elf to keep like the lineage going, blah blah blah, like those kinds of traditions. But I don't hate the fact that Fenwyn might be a half elf, because I think that kind of leans really really well into the thing that I want to push for here for her specifically, and that's her not being a traditional elf, where they're very slim and slender and very refined. I want to push her more into like the muscle role. So that's if you're a full elf. I don't think that that fits really well. I don't think that
Yeah.
they're capable of that.
Just picturing like a full-on elf, like whether it's like D&D, World of Warcraft, just like
Just like Legolas hitting the gym. I just don't think it makes sense.
yeah.
But half elf, and I don't know where you sit on that. Do you hate the idea of her being kind of the muscle for the group? Because I know we had talked about Maxis not being very muscular, or not being like the super muscular presenting man's man. So do you hate the idea of her being that like who's the lady you've not seen Game of Thrones? Big blonde
First episode
lady.
of the first season, first episode of the fifth season. I've pretty much seen the whole
Yeah,
series.
that's all you need, really. Brienne of Tarth, I think, is her name. That kind of a character, not necessarily, but welcome back. Sorry for the technical difficulties there. We're working on Fenwyn still. We've got that she's a half elf. We both like that she is kind of the counterintuitive what you would think of an elf. We like that she's kind of muscular. So I'm gonna write that one down here, a muscular build.
Again, I feel like that's something out of the ordinary. We've talked a few times about like taking a concept that's there and then spinning it and putting a little twist on it. And I think of a muscular half elf, like just a battle elf.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty cool to me.
And it's probably overdone at this point, but I do like that the ability to put a like female or feminine presenting character in that like bruiser role, because I feel like you didn't see that for a while. I think we're on the backswing of it now where it's kind of all over the place, but it's still, I think, again, subverts expectations a little bit. Now getting to kind of the nitty gritty on Fenwyn, how do we kind of want her to behave? What is her kind of personality like?
So I was thinking about this. I'll throw mine out if you want to throw yours out and see if we can either mesh them or how we feel. I kind of like the idea of like more, how do you say, like reserved and chill?
Yeah.
Like, do you know like Sakura from Naruto?
No. Believe it.
Yeah, yes, but no, not at all. I don't want her to be this like loud, like yelling, like blowing up, whatever. I like kind of like a chill, kind of like
Almost like an action.
like calculative, like strategic.
Yeah, like actions speak louder than words kind of deal.
Yeah.
Okay. I will write down calculated and actions speak louder than words.
Definitely intelligent, even like I feel like that's something too, like with it's not just brawn, there's brain in there too.
Yeah, I think that that's important, especially with the like half elf nature. I don't think that she needs to be like a late teens, early 20s person. I know that in many cases half elves are like about a human lifespan, but like that doesn't mean that we have to do that. Mm-hmm. We could reserve kind of that functional immortality for elves in half elves. So we could make her old if we wanted to. 70, 80, 90 years old, where she's kind of studied a whole bunch of both books and Blade and had this time to work out her body and her physique and things like that to get it to the point where she wants it. If we wanted to, that doesn't have to be anything that we
can throw a pin in that too. I don't hate any of that. I feel like with Elf too, again, being they do kind of live a long life, I feel like they always look relatively young too, so I feel like we could slap an age on it and be like, that elf's 20, and they're like, well, it's actually 220, but
yeah, I think that would be cool, but I do think intelligent is definitely a key for her, like a warrior poet kind of dealio. If I could spell, it'd be all over for you guys. Um, now, something that's kind of come in our world as well as many fantasy worlds also. Do we want to have her being a half elf, um, like half elf, half human, but not enough elf to be accepted into elven society and not enough human to be fully accepted into human society, and the ramifications of that?
Yeah, I like that. I feel like with not being part of, maybe she doesn't feel part of both. Maybe she
Mm-hmm.
doesn't feel like she has a home because of that.
Yeah.
I feel like that could feed into her maybe being like not so trusting.
Okay. Yeah, I can dig that. A huge, um, especially growing up, going through like high school and stuff like that. If you were just blatantly like a half elf and you were in a human school, mostly human school, like the relentless nature of like abuse that would be present in that place for you, I feel like would definitely breed into that of just like, I don't like you guys. It
Yeah.
takes a lot for someone to gain my trust. Like you said, just being generally not trusting feels very good, and it makes sense.
And humans are naturally garbage, so
Yeah, and again, if we again throw in the functional immortality into half elves, it's like I've watched so many generations of you come and go. So like, why would I spend my time learning about
that's
you?
that's a huge one. Like I feel like people don't think about when you talk like immortality and stuff is the amount of people that come and go in your life.
Yeah,
You're just a blip when you live that long.
yeah. Yeah, it's like this person I met at one point in my life. It was a week that they were there, and then they got snuffed out. And it's like, all right, now on to the next human that was nearby.
Mm.
Um, yeah, it's super easy to just like brush everybody off when again you live forever. And I don't think that we need to do that. But yeah, if we do some level of half elves generally live to 500 years instead of essentially functionally immortal. That's still 500 years ago was the 1500s.
Yeah.
Like, what is the same about the 1500s that is today? That's just a wild thing to think about. Um, all right. Anything else kind of about her personality? Um,
Do
'Cause
you
we
have
have
anything? I feel like that covers a lot
no.
of my main.
Yeah, I think that if we wrote that out into sentences, it would make more sense as far as the paragraph for her. Um, but it's just kind of like bullet points right now, which is fine. It
I
accomplishes
feel
the
like
same
that
thing.
I feel like that helps with the sentence because I feel like my problem is I say like 12 paragraphs and then you take the 12 paragraphs and you're like, all right, let's make that one sentence.
um, so then so we kind of touched on Maxis's like height and um hair and stuff like that. Do we want to touch on any of that here? Do we?
We may as well. Do
Okay.
you have any ideas?
Obviously, like Elvin, you think taller, so I don't hate that. I don't think like crazy tall, not like 7 foot or anything, but like a 6 to 6'2" feels fine to me.
Are we talking like thick or just like athletic like build?
Um, so yeah, I wouldn't say like dwarf,
Hmm.
but like uh, kind of
Vi from League of Legends, just kind of like
yeah, but no,
Jack.
no, yeah, I don't think that. I think thick. I think that like not athletic. Like you can't be like, oh, she's just a woman. It's like, oof, she's gonna heck me up.
Fucking hammer
Yeah.
kind of thing. Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of who I can even compare it to, but you like any like Brienne of Tarth, the like the people that are just kind of imposing. based on their build. I do like that imagery. If that's kind
Like,
of the role we're going for
like
this character.
Amazon.
Yeah. Yep. That kind of thing where they're just stacked. See the muscles on their muscles when they're just kind of standing there, whereas like Vi, you could just think that she's some kind of
Hits the gym sometimes.
yeah. She stays fit, and then she like punches you in the mouth, and you're like, oh, nope, she knows what she's doing. And this one is like, I'm just not gonna mess with her. Like she's that like kind of intimidating. But yeah,
that feels fine for me.
I think somewhere like 6 to 6'2" for that, to kind of be that imposing figure. And I don't know, the like
Hairstyles.
the shaved side of head. I don't know if you're like this, the normal like feminine longer hair on
With
top,
long hair, ponytail, but shaved sides, kind of like the Viking hairstyle.
Yeah. Kind of like that.
I'm here for that.
Okay. I'm gonna lock in 6 to 6'2". 6'2". And shaved side of head for hairstyle. I don't hate that as like a kind of imagery that what you're going for is that like the Viking, the female Viking, like wearing animal skins or something like that, maybe, or it's just kind of like the fur. Excuse me, sorry. There are furs kind of worked into her armor, so it gives that kind of appearance.
That's gonna be a real fun bit to like, obviously down the road, like upgrade their armor and their clothes and what that looks like. Again, we might have to commission some people. If you're an artist and want to be commissioned, hit us up.
Yes, definitely do that. I think it's going to be fun to do the concept artwork, work with someone who is an artist, and then give them the on paper. It's like, this is kind of what I want this character to look like, and then to have that dialogue. They hit us with an image, and we're like, well, kind of more like this, and then they take that and then reshape it, give it back to us, and be like, that.
I know I'll be messing around in any kind of like character creator that I get my hands on and be like, well, what if I just try what this character might look like?
Yeah. So as far as what we got for her, this is much less a paragraph and more bullet points, so I talked about that. But it's half elf with a muscular build, calculated, actions speak louder than words, intelligent, maybe old, maybe not, and not trusting. She's 6 to 6'2", and then she has the shaved side of head hairstyle. I'm sure that hairstyle has a name. I don't know it.
I don't know it either. I'm
going bald, so I don't know any names of any hairstyles. Just gotta live with it, man. Is there anything else that you want to touch on before we lock in this pseudo paragraph for Fenwyn?
I don't know if it matters now or later, but hair color, eye colors, anything like that.
We can lock in as much of that as you'd like to. The Vi hair color jumps out at me. That like reddish, pinkish.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. The first thing that popped in my head was white, but I also feel like that's classic elf, and maybe if we're putting a spin on it. Again, if we gave Maxis blue hair, what's stopping there to be green and blue and pink and white and all the fun colors? It's our world.
Yeah, exactly. I think that white is interesting because I feel like elf is generally that like platinum blonde as opposed to like white. If we wanted to go white, I think that's as interesting as a red pink.
However, we're not talking about it now, but Garrick's I also considered being kind of old captain, white hair kind of thing.
That's fair.
So is that
okay? Yeah.
So maybe we lock in with like a pink, either deep pink or light pink, any kind of. I'm down with whatever. If you have a preference.
Yeah, I think that's going to kind of come down to like the concept art stage. To know that we want to be in the pink realm, I think will get us there. But once we have that commission working, I think that will be kind of when we actually lock in magenta or whatever other fancy name pinks there are out there. I don't know any.
I can agree with that.
Eye color. Do we want to do the swirls like the people in Naruto?
I don't mind different looking eyes. I definitely don't want the eyes to be doing crazy shit.
Yeah.
Naruto, you just like twist them out like a light bulb and plug them into other people. That's how their eyes work, and I don't know how I feel about that for ours.
I'm a big fan. Final Fantasy X. There's the all bad and the normal people, and all bad are denoted by their, I think the green eyes specifically is an all bad thing.
I know none of those words.
And one of the main characters has a all bad eye and a normal eye, and it's like a dead giveaway if you're like paying attention and know like right away at the start. Sorry for spoilers. Right away at the start of the game, you can be like, oh, they're half all bad. That's a thing. Because some people don't like them, Albeds. But that's a huge plot point, like halfway-ish through the game, that where you find out that she's, or not halfway, way early on in the game, where you find out that she's part Albed, and then one of the other main characters is like, meh, I don't like you because of that. So that would be an interesting if we do some kind of unique thing for elves, and then one eye is a certain way, and then one eye is normal. But that's not anything we have to do.
Yeah, I'm not against 2 eye color shades. Again, maybe we can either work that into story, or if it's not anything for story, we can just concept idea it and see what the artist thinks from that.
Okay. We can. Yeah, put that in her paragraph, and we can always change it later. Nothing here is super duper duper set in stone.
That's the important thing to remember here, is all this is up for change. I'll rewrite every one of these characters if it means getting a piece of story bit I want.
Yeah, exactly. The one twist ending at the end of season 1, we're gonna rewrite all this stuff for to make it fit. Make it fit.
You didn't think about this plot point.
All right. Got hair color, got eye color. Anything else we want to do? We want to touch on before we say goodnight?
I think for right now, I think that pretty much covers it as far as I'm concerned. Okay. It's enough to go on, at least.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely enough to expand upon. Coming up, we can kind of do more backstory reasons for why she may not be trusting or whatever. The reasons that she's calculated. Kind of dealio once we get into the longer writings. But yeah, I think that's a good basic start for Fenwyn here. And I think then we'll kind of wrap this one up. If you guys have any ideas for stuff, character things that we're missing, if you want to see a certain personality trait that we're just absolutely overlooking, something that could complete the group, whatever, let us know. We're about to jump right into Jackson after we end this recording. Again, it's a double recording kind of night. So stay tuned for next week when we figure out what the third and final core member of the group will be about. But I think follow us everywhere you can follow us, like us anywhere you can like us. If you like us, feel free to comment. Let us know anything that we could do differently or better.
If you don't like us, tell us that too.
Yeah, tell us why. Don't just be like, I don't like you guys. All right, cool, buddy.
Okay, but why?
Yeah. Thanks for the interaction. I guess, definitely still tell us that you don't like us. That's still a comment on our video. But why would be beneficial, so we could fix that or not fix it if the reason that you don't like us is a reason, something that we are doing core to this. enough rambling. We'll just get out of your hair, I think. As unless you have anything else, Spencer. All right. As we always love to say, stay safe out there.
And don't get mugged.
If you are struggling, please, please, please reach out to someone or dial 988 to get connected with someone at the National Suicide Hotline. You do not have to go it alone.